So hello, this video is going to be about a disease called trimethylminuria, also shortened to TMAU, and I actually have this disease. I was diagnosed in 2009, and it's a very socially challenging disease to have, and a lot of people with it. It's a very hard disease to live with, and I went through some really horrible times with it, and it was quite. I've had some awful experiences because of this disease, and it's a disease which desperately needs a cure, and it's not the most pleasant condition to have. People with trimethylminuria can't process a substance in a chemical in food called choline, and because I can't process choline, it causes a horrible smell to build up in the sufferer, and the symptoms of trimethylminuria are having a strong or pungent odour, and it's a very horrible disease to have, and you could imagine teenagers having this disease, and it doesn't, in young children, it doesn't. It's horrible. I've had this disease since I was 13, and I've only recently got it under control. And I just want to say to people out there with the disease that there is hope if you have this disease, and it's not the be all and end all. It's not, it's not just black and white. There are lots of shades of grey in between, and it's not just black and white. You don't have to give up on life just because you've got this disease. And I know at times I've thought like that, because it's a really hard disease to go through, especially in college and things like that, and in education. So I had this disease from when I was 13, and I went into class one day and someone asked my friends were talking about why does Katie, i.e. me, have body odour, and that was the first time I kind of thought that something was wrong, because I never had any sort of smell about me before. But it was pretty awful. And then there was a lot of incidents at school where people said that someone stunk, or that someone had really bad BO, and it kind of usually, I assume they were referring to me, because I used to sweat a lot and get quite anxious, and it was really horrible, really. But I became very depressed because of the condition in college, and when I was 17, and I'd walk into the room and people would say, "It smells like shit in here," and these girls who were just in the room would say it smelled like shit in here when I walked in or sat down, and that was pretty awful. And I had many experiences when I lost a lot of friends when I was about 16, 17, because people didn't want to be around me anymore. And I remember one of my friends who I was quite close to and got along with really well, she said that someone, as I was walking behind her, she said someone smells really bad. She couldn't tell me, so she said it out loud, and I just thought that was really awful. Growing up as a teenager, this disease has a really horrible impact on your life, because all you want to do as a teenager is to fit in, and to have a disease which is socially crippling and which is absolutely awful, to have this disease and to go through your teenage years with it it's like living in some sort of hell. And I had this disease, and I also had a horrible, it was horrible at times, but I had not very nice home environment, and that was really awful to go from a home life that was abusive, then to go to a college where no one wanted you there because you stunk of shit, basically, was awful. It was very awful, and it was very awful. And when I did get diagnosed, I followed the TMAU diet religiously, but it was awful. It was absolutely awful to have that condition. It was really very, very bad, and I just think now to teenagers suffering with it, I just can't imagine what they're going through. Well, I can imagine what they're going through because I've been through it, and my TMAU odour started to go after I took a lot of probiotics. I took about 3 one-week courses in a year, and it just disappeared. I think the thing you have to do if you have TMAU is to, even if you have TMAU, is to keep pushing yourself and not letting yourself sit in a room or a house and not go out, because I did that. I didn't go out for a very long time, and I was very, very unwell, and it led to me becoming more unwell, and with episodes of psychosis and such. And I'm fine now, but I stayed inside for a very long time. It was almost like I was in prison, or it was almost like I was in prison or something. It was about, I'm talking years here, not going out for months at a time, and that's no exaggeration either, believe me. And it's awful, and I just want to say to people, young teenagers with this condition, you can get rid of it, and I would say the key thing is to not lose your confidence. You have to keep going out and keep going to school and keep going to college and keep going to university and keep going on with your life, because that's the only way you can beat that condition. Even if people say you smell like shit, even if people say you're disgusting, even if people say you're unhygienic, you have to keep going, even though you're going through hell, because that is the way to overcome this disease. That is the way to overcome it, and that is the way you will live a full and enriching life. You cannot let this disease beat you, because I know it's awful, but you really, and I know it's hard, but you really cannot let this disease beat you. And that is that, and that is all I've got. I hope this, that is what I've got to say, really, and I hope this video helps someone out there, because I've come a long way, and from those days in college, and it's not the be all and end all. Basically, you can get better. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for listening. Okay, bye.